Thank you for joining me today. This is a Barstool from one of my friends. It's one of 6, so I will be showing you how to do this and I'll also discuss cutting for multiple pieces as well. There's going to be a few points that I need to show you when I'm doing this, mainly because of the fabric. So let's get on with it. So the first thing you need to do is remove the bottom cloth and the seat, because the seat is actually screwed into place on this one. Reusing the bottom cloths as much as possible, so I don't want to ruin those as I take them out. Always try to reuse what you can when you can. Saves money later. I'm just going to unscrew these a little bit and then I can drop the chair seat out. It might be enough. Sometimes these push out quite easily and other times they're a little bit more difficult. Might mean these aren't all out. Perfect. Having removed the cover, the first thing I'm going to do is remove the piece that I need for the next cover, and then I'm going to take the rest of it off so I can work out how I'm going to cut the pattern out. I want the centre here to be down the centre line here and up through the centre here. So that's where I need that, and then I'll just carry on round like that. When I come to do the subsequent ones like this, all I've got to make sure is that the centerpiece here with the big scales is centered. Now I am not, because I don't have enough fabric, going to worry about centering and lining up to each one. All I'm going to do is lay the next one down and cut it. Nobody is going to sit there and study 6 chairs to make sure that I have this in every part. If it was a big pattern and it was obvious, then I would obviously take the time and make sure that all the center patterns are the same. But this is an all over pattern. It repeats, but it's not that obvious where the repeats are. There's one there and the next one's up here. All I have to do is line up the center mark here to the center here. Make sure everything's facing the same way. I'm going to cut 5 more of these out. Just follow the pattern around like this very carefully until it's all done. So here's the inside seat. There's the center and there's the back. So you can see that I've managed to get the centers there. Now the seat's the easiest because all I've got to do is make a mark for the center back here, and it does actually line up, but this center mark here kind of wobbles a little bit depending on how this pattern comes in. This is the side of the chair seat, and I'm going to cut these in a straight line up here, so I'm going to measure that to about 1/2 inch all the way along here. This has a seam in it, so I'm going to measure it to where the seam is and cut a little mark like that. Double check my measurements and then fold along that mark. So my center mark for the side is there, and I'm going to take that to the top here and cut in a straight line across, and I'll get one border out of there that's continuous. The border I'm cutting at 3 inches all the way up, which is nice and easy. I've been taking them from the sides. I'm going to put this underneath and facing up, and here's the seat. I'm going to put the back there, line both of those up like that, slide them underneath. It should have 1/2 inch, but I've noticed that I'm a little bit scant at the back. I'm going to sew forward, and as I sew forward I'm going to pull this up to the border so it goes in nice and straight. I would do it from the center out. It makes life easier than to fight it all the way around and get it wrong. I'm going to ease that in like this. Now as I come down, I'm going to go to the outside of that foot. It's nearly at the bottom. Coming into this corner, and I'm just going to cut in at a 45-degree angle, just under 1/2 inch. I don't want it to be too far in, and only the top layer. So down, needle down, foot up, twist, and then pull the top fabric, which really doesn't want to play ball, into position. So I can go down the front of the seat cushion like this. Make sure your foot's down. And again, nip in and almost at the ends there, one more stitch. needle down, foot up, and twist into position. These are really easy to do unless you're using this fabric, in which case it's not that easy. And then to the end, forward and back. There we go. Now, keeping the top of the border together like that, you pop the end together like that, and on the border you're going to make a little nick, because that's where you're going to start the other side. Hold on to that, fold the fabric over like that, and hold that there. It doesn't make sense until it's all sewn in together. Pop that under here, make sure your foot's down, forward and back, forward. Make a little nick in the top again, like that. Needle down, foot up, twist everything around, sew towards the top. Make a little nick, like that. Go to the top, another stitch I think. Needle down, foot up, twist everything into position. It doesn't always want to go, so you have to move it like that. And so. It will automatically, if you've done it right, go into position. I always double check, even I make mistakes. I'm going to sew on up, keeping these fabrics together. And as I come into the curve at the top here, I'm going to start pulling the top fabric onto the bottom fabric and ease it in. All the way to the centre mark where I started. So that comes in here, it just wants to twist, and it will all come in and over your stitching, because you want to lock that into place. So I'm going to make sure that that actually pushes to the back, so I've got a little bit more room for the fabric on top, and pull it back. Now, what I always do is I pull the fabric up under. It looks neater. So as I go around, I'm going to be pushing the fabric to the top of the chair like that. It takes a little bit of effort. If you've got soft fabric, then it goes in quite easily, but this one doesn't, unfortunately. So I'll ease that in. I'll have a go on the other side in a sec. Pull all of that to the back and pop it under. And I'm going to secure it to about that depth all the way across the back on both sides. And on the side here, I'm going to pull it over. I'm not going to pull it too far, just a little bit, and start working towards the back. As I get round to the corner, I'll just allow it to wrinkle in a little bit. And I'll do the same on the other side. Across the front, I'm just going to pull it over so it comes in to here, and I'm going to secure it across the front to the corners and slide it very carefully into place, because I really don't want to tear any fabric. Push it down and in both sides until it's secure, and then I'll screw that into place. Thank you for joining me on this project. It's a little bit late at night because I've got to go and deliver this. My friend thinks they're exquisite. This is the last of the 6 and she needs them for Christmas. I'll be delivering them shortly to her. If you want to see more from me, please subscribe, hit the bell button, and a few thumbs up would be brilliant. And in the meantime, take care. See you later. Ciao.